Hey, welcome back, everybody. We're going to finish up this hour.
We might even get into climate change.
We might, but you know what? It just like the climate itself, there's just not much to talk about. With
because it's all
at this point.
Climate change changes all the time.
Yeah.
So there's the end of that.
I don't know.
You guys are wrong. We're right.
Whatever. I mean,
there you go. There's the end of climate change. Let's get back to. Oh, I forgot to talk about this Bosnian lady I was talking to. Came right out and said, I was a refugee. I enjoyed all the perks. I'm glad that America took me in. And she says, but the problem is they're so far away and my life's so much different now. Most Muslims and Bosnians here really just view it, we're all Americans now. And that's the advantage of having America that accepts everybody,
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I just want to throw that out. So back to presidential politics. Rick Perry's out. There's a couple of Walker, who was the front runner, has plummeted. I don't even think he's at 3% now. I could be wrong. And why do you think that is? You been keeping up on that at all?
Walker?
Yeah.
Not really.
I mean, because he's a darling. He has proven credentials that he can stand up.
Oh, who needs credentials when you've got Donald Trump?
To the left-wing loons that try to, commandeer our freedoms. And so the part of the problem is I've listened to him speak a couple of times. And, honest to God, sometimes it's like listening to Governor Branstad. And we love I love Governor Branstad. But let's face it, he's not a dynamic speaker. Neither is not Paul Walker, Scott Walker. So, because Paul Walker's dead. That's too bad.
Yeah, that is too bad.
So, because they're releasing Fast and Furious 7 yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, anything else you got to say? Because we got 7 minutes.
We ran out. When's the last time that we ran out of stuff to talk about with 7 minutes left in the show?
I don't know.
Probably was November 3rd.
2012.
I was going to say 2013. I don't even know if that's a Tuesday. But
whatever it was, we ran out of stuff to talk about.
So
we're not, well, actually, I know what we can talk about.
What's that?
If we're supposed to be a godless country, why do we have an expectation of taking care of these people?
I don't know.
If we're not based upon Judeo-Christian ethics.
Because that's the only moral, is that the only moral system that's out there?
Well, no, but it's the one that we use here.
But is that if you look at it, I don't know. I'm not a Christian, Joe, and I still consider myself to be a fairly moral person. Unless
but where did that come from? From your Christian upbringing?
No,
it sure did.
No, it did not.
So in other words, your parents said, "Well, geez, you get it."
Oh, I see. So let me put it. Let me know if I'm hearing you correctly. So because of some sort of like Christian hegemony that just arises up in people that are raised in a Christian country. Or raised in a Christian majority country, that any sort of morality that comes from that has to be connected in some way to Christianity. That's ridiculous. That argument doesn't follow. Whatsoever.
Sure it does. How else are you going to raise kids? If you raise kids with violence, they learn how to be violent.
Are there moral people in India?
If they're what?
Are there moral people in India? Are Hindus moral? Are Muslims moral?
Well, it depends on who they're talking to.
Are Jews moral?
Well, of course, because we're based upon Judeo-Christian ethics.
Ask next time that Rabbi is here. I want you to say to him, "Hey, I have Judeo-Christian values, Rabbi. What do you think about that?" What he's going to tell you, I think, if I have any sort of handle on what his belief structure and his philosophy are, is that, boy, we really wish that you'd stop co-opting our moral system, Christians, because we're really different from you. And we came first, and we'd really rather have that back. Thank you very much.
Isn't that very same thing something that the Christians and Jews can tell the Muslims?
Does that matter?
That's your point. That's your argument.
No, it's not. No one's calling it Judeo-Christian Islamic values, are they?
Because they're not Islamic values. Islamic values.
Well, then why are you trying to conflate the three?
I'm not trying to. You just got.
No, you conflate the two and you call them Judeo-Christian values. What I'm saying is
because nobody's going to disagree with that. Because
why?
Because we share the same.
No, because the Christians need legitimacy from the Jews, and they always have. They always have.
Well, do you think that's why the Muslims hate the Jews? Is because they need the legitimacy from them?
I don't know. Look at the Bible, man.
Well, I do look at the Bible.
Don't you remember the story of Ishmael?
Yes, I do.
That tells you exactly why the Muslims hate the Jews. But the Christians have needed the Jews' legitimacy because that's where they came from. You guys stole their religion, you co-opted it for yourself, and you created something different out of it.
Oh, that is just completely offensive. That's Donald Trump offensive. We're gonna go on a Trump meter. Maddie, you got a meter up there. That's all the way over.
I'm just sick of hearing this business about, well, if you're not Christian or if you don't have Judeo-Christian traditions, you can't be moral, and that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous.
But the morals that you have are specifically Christian and Judeo. You know, you don't lie.
Lots
you
of
do
people
what you're supposed to do.
Lots of people who aren't Christians don't lie. Lots of people who've never heard of Jesus Christ don't lie. So that's not really a Christian value, is it? That's more of a human let's get along value. There are lots of things that people have in common that do not relate at all to their religious faith or their Christianity in any way whatsoever. Lots of people don't kill. And in fact, here's the thing. You know why I don't kill? It's not because I believe in Jesus Christ as the only Savior, the Son of God. It's because I don't want to. You know why I don't want to? Because I don't want to. That's it. That's the end of the analysis.
Well, you don't even want to kill right-wingers?
Nope.
You know?
I don't want to kill anybody.
Don't want to kill anybody?
I don't want to hurt anybody because I don't want to. I kill and maim. Penn Jillette has a great quote that I'm going to butcher. I kill, rape, and maim as much as I want to, which is 0. If you think that the only reason that I don't do that is because of some magical being in the sky that is preventing me from doing it, that says more about your religion than it says about me.
He's not in the sky. He's in everything. That's the problem. I mean, you read the Bible, dude. God is
I've
everywhere.
read the Bible 4 times, pal.
Oh, Jesus simply fulfilled the prophecy. That's for my brother John.
Oh, okay.
You know,
fulfill the prophecy. Fulfill the prophecy. Good. Take that one.
Well, you know, and Joe points this out too. And I was going to make this point, but he beat me to it since I was reading. We have to have a common belief system in order to have a society. And I think that's part of what is going on in Syria is there's so many divergent views of what Islam is. At least in Christianity, you can have your sects, and for the most part, we get along. Hinduism has several different sects, and they manage to get along halfway decently. The Jews have their sects, and they're able to get along. So I think that common thread is okay. But part of the thing is, and I think this goes back to that, because I'm going to admit that you're right, when you have a nation based in theocracy, this is the kind of stuff that you get. You get it in Afghanistan. You get it not necessarily in Syria, but it's devolving that way.
So a state in Iran, a state with religion, an avowedly religious state is a bad idea. Does that mean a state with religious values is a bad idea?
No, because they're two different things. You know, this is, and actually, I'll tell you, I got into a bit of an argument with Steve Dace over this Kim Davis gal down there. And my point was, give unto Caesar what is Caesar's. In other words, if she's elected by the people to work for the state, then that's Caesar. If Caesar says this is what you have to do, then that's what you do. That also includes the Supreme Court, I believe. And he didn't like that. Well, did the laws in Kentucky change? Well, no, because this was a law passed down from the federal courts. And so, you know, you have this big conversation back and forth. Here's, you know what we want, what I want to talk about next week.
Steve Dace doesn't agree with the supremacy clause. That's his problem.
Yeah, well, and here's what I want to talk about next week is Stephen Breyer. And he's written a book and he's talked a lot about, and I've read part of it. He's talking a lot about how our courts should be using foreign laws to make our decisions.
No. That's not really what the argument is.
Well, I understand,
we should look to foreign law.
But we have to go now.
Right.
And that's what I want to talk about next week. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in. You going to be playing anywhere this week?
Ducktail on Saturday.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll be back next week.
Hi, I'm Representative Tom Shaw, and I love these guys. Both of them.
Love these guys. Get over here. Love both of them.